Failed Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake was allowed to return to court in order to challenge her devastating loss. Remember, she lost by 17,000 votes. She did not do very well. Now, she had a bunch of ridiculous court challenges. Most of them were rejected, but one of them, she is allowed to have her day in court. And so she presented her case that signature verification laws were not followed. So now, that said, the first day of the trial, which happened on yesterday, on, I should say, Wednesday, she essentially destroyed her own case. Oops. Now, her attorney, this is according to the Arizona Republic's reporting from Lori Roberts, her attorney, Kurt Olson, told the judge he'd be presenting evidence that Maricopa County didn't verify the voter signatures on hundreds of thousands of early ballots. Oh, interesting. Instead, hiring signature reviewers who went through the motions while the county looked on. Yes, we're just going to hire a bunch of people, not to look at the signature, and just allow these potentially fraudulent votes to go through. Oh, no. Now, look, I think signature verification is dumb. And the simple reason is because people's signatures change throughout their lives. They change all the time. With age, with disability, through name changes, as well, like things from things like marriage. And of course, addresses also change because people move. Sometimes the systems aren't updated. Sometimes there's, inappropriate, well, maybe not inappropriate, it's like the bad word for it, but incorrect information being put into, the records. Sometimes there's conflicting information. So, of course, you got to update your records. Okay, nonetheless, there's a lot of reasons why something might not match up. I get it. Now, that said, it is the law. The law is on the books in Arizona, so they got to do it. They got to do the signature verification. Great. Now, that's the crux of her case, though, is that, the state did not do it correctly. They were not following the law. And therefore, all the ballots should be thrown out. The entire election should be thrown out and redone. No. Now, here's the thing, right? Her witness, Kari Lake's star witness, pretty much admitted that actually we were following the law. Now, her attorney, Kurt Olson, called signature reviewer Jacqueline Onikit, who spent more than an hour in the courtroom explaining the lengths to which the county went to verifying signatures. The week-long training of their workers, the 2 shifts of level 1 reviewers, 3 levels of signature review, and the admonition to get it correct. Weird. Now, the supervisors said, you need to be very cautious. You need to pay attention to what you're doing, and remember that whatever you reject or approve, you can be called in to testify. Onikit testified, per the report. Okay, so it was made very clear to election workers, hey, make sure you verify these ballots. Very, very important that you do so, because if you mess up, that's on you. Well, I mean, okay, that's very important. It almost looks like Onikit is better for the defense than it is for Kari Lake's case, that Maricopa County did not follow their own election. Now, Olson had also showed a video of an election worker who appeared to be rushing through ballot verifications as proof that they weren't seriously vetting ballots. Now, that would be pretty serious, right? And it is. And you know what? It was so serious that election worker was fired immediately. Hey, you're slacking on the job. Get out. We actually care about verifying signature ballots here, so you need to go. If you're not going to do the job the way you're supposed to do it, then get out. Once again, seems like these election officials take their job very seriously. Again, if you're just, I don't. By the way, I don't think it's nefarious that this election worker was like trying to speed through the ballots. Probably just bored, like, okay, whatever. Going through, okay, whatever, trying to hurry, and gets caught. Like, what are you doing? You're slacking. Like, you're not paying attention the way that you should be. Well, that's it.
Fired! Fired!
Get out. Get out. Get out. Huh, weird. Man. That really does show you that the supervisors there were demanding real verification of the ballots, which means that they were trying to follow the law, which is exactly what we want them to do. Why is this woman a witness for Kari Lake? Well, she explains, quote, Annika testified that she felt pressured and uncomfortable after supervisors asked her and other election workers to re-review some ballots that had already been rejected, saying that she didn't want to approve ballots that had already been tossed out. Okay, now, if you understand how this works, you would understand, and I'm going to explain it, right? Why, again, this is not nefarious, but she described the situation as very overwhelming. All right? Now, to me, it seems like the supervisors were trying to make every vote count, which is what you're supposed to do, just in case some ballots were thrown out erroneously. So now, it was Onikit's opinion that the number of ballots had bad signatures, and that some of the envelopes had names or addresses that were different from the voter history records. Now, on the bad signature, what makes a bad signature? Again, I just told you that signatures can change all the time. What's a bad signature? It seems to be very subjective, okay? Not objective, very subjective, okay? And so she sees what she, thinks are bad signatures and rejects them. Now, the way that it works, though, is that if the initial reviewer rejects a ballot, if you think it doesn't really fit what I have on file, then it gets kicked up the chain to a manager. Now, a manager has access to all the voter signatures on file, whereas a normal reviewer has, I think, access to about up to 3. Now, if the manager rejects it, that's when the county reaches out to the voter in an attempt to verify that it's their ballot. Under state law, the county must try to reach a voter before rejecting a bad or blank signature. And a voter has 5 days after the election to verify that it was them that actually had filled out that ballot. Okay. So, like I said, she rejected it. It got kicked to the manager. Manager has more signatures on file. The manager in this case looked at it and said, look again. I think this actually looks fine. Again, this is very subjective, all of this. But understand that there are multiple audit steps here involved. There's a chain of people that it has to go through before being accepted, as well as rejected. It is a process that has multiple layers, and it's very involved. And so, speaking about the process, during cross-examination, Onikitz was asked if she had performed her duties in signature verification. To which she responded, quote, yes, I did. So that really undermines her case. Remember, this isn't about whether or not you believe that this was a bad ballot, about the subjective, it doesn't quite match the signature. The J's a little bit off. It's a little crooked. And I just don't think it matches quite enough that I'm going to reject this. No, it's not about that. This suit was whether or not Maricopa County followed their own laws when it came to performing signature verification, and I think it's pretty obvious that they did follow their laws. Remember, that's Kari Lake's entire case. That's it. I mean, it's over. She did her job. Everyone did their jobs. And if you didn't do their job, if you didn't do your job,
fired! Fired!
Gone. There's nothing here that proves Kari Lake's case at all. And I gotta say, if this is Kari Lake's star witness, well, I mean, it's a star witness for somebody. just not for Kari.